Good morning, listeners, and welcome to the November 18th, 2015 edition of the Composer's Corner, a podcast that brings you a comprehensive, in-depth look into the life and the works of the world's most renowned composers. I'm your host, Stephen Hafner, and today we will be discussing a personal favorite of mine, Mr. Antonin Dvorak. Dvorak was born on September 8, 1841, in what was then known as Bohemia, now modern-day Czech Republic. Being born the son of a butcher, Antonin was expected to carry on his father's legacy just as his father did for his father. Working hard and keeping busy, Dvorak still, however, found time to play the violin along with his father. Dvorak's father had played with the village orchestra on a few occasions. Dvorak even went so far as to surpass his father with the bow, which was noticed by the local schoolmaster and musician Joseph Spitz. Spitz aimed to help Antonin hone his skills with the violin. At the age of 12, Dvorak was sent to live with his uncle in Slanis, where he would delve even deeper into the musical world, studying the viola, organ, and the figured bass. Dvorak learned the specific techniques that musicians use to express their music. With such success in mastering these elements, Lehman, Dvorak's uncle, suggested he study at the conservatory in Prague, and even funded that decision. While studying in Prague, under the guidance of Czech greats such as Josef Svaner, Josef Forster, and František Blazek, whom all would be later named some of the pillars of the Czech national style, Dvorak fine-tuned his skills. The years that follow would forever shape the way many composers viewed music ever again. Let's hear a piece from his early years. At 24, Dvorak composed his Symphony No. 1 in C minor, The Bells of Slanis. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, that was Antonin Dvorak's Symphony No. 1 in C minor, The Bells of Slanis. Such a wonderful selection, and written so nicely for such a young man. By 1870, most of Dvorak's work had all been almost but destroyed, primarily by Dvorak himself. Then, in 1873, he found success in composing quartets. Dvorak wrote 18 string quartets in all, but so many other chamber pieces also. The next trial of his life would inspire his most critically acclaimed piece, the Stabat Mater. In 1876, his daughter fell ill and passed away. The sadness drove Dvorak to write the Stabat Mater. Great Britain hailed this piece with such rave reviews that Dvorak was invited to conduct it himself in 1884 at the Royal Albert Hall in London. For the next few years, Dvorak produced a number of wonderful pieces. Then, in 1891, he sought out the inspiration he received from teaching. Dvorak accepted the chair of composition at the Prague Conservatory. Almost a year later, he found himself on a leave of absence and traveling to America to fulfill the same position he had just left behind. He arrived at the New York Conservatory in 1892. There, he would compose his most famous work to date. His Symphony No. 9 in E minor, Opus 95, better known as his New World Symphony, was his big break into American culture. Let's hear an excerpt from this piece. That selection was from the fourth movement, Allegro con fuoco. This is the piece I really want to focus on today. The New World Symphony is a wonderful piece. The adagio in the beginning really opens up strong. The French horns and the timpanis, the strings and the woodwinds, all harmoniously flowing. The oboe calms the tone, then the pace heightens. The next movement, in Largo, maintains slow and steady throughout, a real time to reflect and marvel in the music. The following movement sets up the final one. The chorizo is a fast, furious journey through the scales. Then the woodwinds carry us off at the end of the movement. The final movement, Allegro con fuoco, starts with what most today would call the Jaws theme from the shark movie. Then the theme is in place. The call of the brass, the thunderous roar of the entire symphony. It is a bone-chilling experience, folks. If you ever have the opportunity to see this piece, I highly encourage you to do so. I hope you have enjoyed today's edition of the Composer's Corner. Tune in next time to see what great composer we highlight next. Have a great day, and remember, classic is king.